want me to say? Stupid YouTube. I'm live. I don't know if anybody's going to watch this. I don't have a tripod. I don't have a gimbal or anything to make this video stable. I'm just sitting here swatting mosquitoes. I'm literally sitting on the railroad tracks. That's what I'm doing right now. And I'm trying to make a YouTube short, but that kept happening. Semi trucks and everything else. There's a road back there behind those trees, and my thumb is on the camera. It's just hold still. Hold still. Just turn that there. Improvising. There we go. Improvising. Stay. You stay. Alright, so I kept trying to make a YouTube short, but it kept running too long because I had too much to say. Alright, so I was making a comment the other day on a video. I forget what it was. It was about bug out bags and things like that, and I was talking about my bug out bag, how heavy it is, how many days I got it packed for, and all that stuff. And I got several responses to this, and people were saying that most people can't even walk 2 miles carrying their bug out bag. Well, my phone's currently resting on the bug out bag, and I'm at least 2.5 to 3 miles from where I started. Weighing myself before I left, I had 36 pounds of gear on me, including the bag, my EDC. But that got me thinking. Luke 1:6. Righteousness, blamelessly walking in all the commands of Yahweh, our Elohim, the Lord thy God. If you are watching, or reading, I should say, your King James Bible. Sorry, distracted. I see a train down there, but I think it's not moving, and I think it's facing the other way, but yeah, I got to keep an eye on it. I'm sitting on railroad tracks. Blamelessly walking in all the commands of Yahweh, our Elohim. Luke 1:6. Why do Christians think it's so easy to just say a prayer on their deathbed and be saved? Why do Christians think that? There's so many contradictory verses in Hebrews that can tell you that's not true. It's not the New Testament. The old covenants weren't done away with. The Torah wasn't done away with. What is it? Matthew 7 verses 21 through 23, give or take, somewhere in there. It's Master, Master, haven't we prophesied in your name, done many mighty works in your name, done all these things in your name, Master? And Yeshua, or Jesus as you may know him, says, be gone. I don't know you, you who work lawlessness. He did not come to destroy the Torah or the prophets. He came to embody them, to be them, to show you how to be it. So, blamelessly walking in all the commands of Yahweh, your Elohim, that is righteousness. It is not that hard. The Jewish people will say, yeah, it's really hard. You can't do this, you can't do that. But probably the same people say I can't walk 2 miles, 2 to 3 miles down the railroad tracks, prop my phone up on this backpack, and try not to kill myself with a train. There's one city down there. But it's not that hard. It's not that easy either. It's not just, oh, Jesus, please save me, forgive me my sins, and then you die and then you go to heaven. Read your book. That's not what it is. That's not how it works. How many... It's really easy just to pick your book up, read it, and do what it says. It's really that easy. There is... Go away, mosquito. Water bottle. It's not harder than that. Pick your book up, read it, do what it says. Alright, I have no gimbal. This is going to be a bouncy video. I'm going to set the phone down on the railroad tracks. I'm going to strap this back. Before I do that, I have straps on this thing. Oh, here, wait. There, oh, I wrote. There we are. I'm not carrying my normal bug out bag. This is a Maxpedition. I don't even know what. It's one of those discreet ones. It weighs about 30 pounds. I have about 5 pounds of gear on me, and I've been walking down these railroad tracks for quite a while, tracking it with my watch. So it actually said my walking has stopped. I've gone 3,477 steps. Before this is over, I'm usually at 3.5 to 4 miles, depending on how far I go. And I'm going to go back to it. And any more Bible verses that pop into my head, I'm just going to spit them out while I'm doing it. I should have brought the gimbal. I had no intention on going live. I was trying to make a YouTube short, but cars just keep driving past me, and it's loud and obnoxious. It's very obnoxious. All right, let me fix this. Yeah, I walked 3.5 miles here without the waist straps on this thing. My shoulders hurt. Now I know why. because I wasn't using the waist straps. That's painful. This all came out of a comment I made on YouTube. I forget what video it really was. I actually do. I was just randomly watching. I think it was a YouTube short one day when I was just... Get off me, mosquito. Just bored. And I got so many replies on that of people saying I probably can't even walk 2 miles with a 30-pound pack or something along those lines, and I had to prove it wrong. So here I am. Oh, wow. Yeah, I'm taller than I thought. Let's get this strapped on. Hopefully, it will be a lot more comfortable with these waist straps, if I can figure out where I put them. Oh, they're actually attached to the bag. Let's make them longer. I'm not that skinny. Pretty skinny, but not that skinny. Oh man. There we go. Then you cinch them down like a belt. Wow. That got tighter since I added the other thing. Alright. So this thing flipped. Yeah, good to see you too. Well, seeing me, I'm not seeing you, so that's an odd comment to say, but thanks for commenting. Where is the flip on this camera? This is going to be a bouncy video, I promise. Because I did not bring the gimbal. I should have. I wasn't planning on making a video, but here I am. When Yahweh speaks and Yahweh says, we do. Going back to what I was saying about Luke 1:6, blamelessly walking in all the commands of Yahweh, which is righteousness. That is the definition of righteousness. Just like the definition of sin is transgression of the law. It's not talking about, you know, American law, the United States law, your state law, your county ordinances. It's talking about the laws of Yahweh, our Elohim, the Lord thy God, as it is sometimes said by the monarchy version of the Bible. And yeah, I do call it that sometimes, monarchy version. I don't put trust in governments. I never have, I never will. Governments rise, they fall. Most governments do not walk in the commands of Yahweh. Most of them. I mean, there might be one or two, but you wouldn't hear about them even if there were. I guarantee you the United States government doesn't, with their pride flags hanging all over their White House for a mythical month that they invented. Pride Month or whatever BS that was. They can take that and shove it. But I'm rambling about governments blamelessly walking in the commands of Yahweh. It's not that hard. It's not real easy, but it's not real hard. It can be done by anyone. That's what Yeshua came to do. He came to be the sacrifice for you, for your sins, for the transgressions of his law, the Torah, which you'll find in the first 5 books of the Bible, being Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, Deuteronomy. Did I forget one? I don't know. My brain's kind of mush. I'm walking down railroad tracks. I tend to go for these walks about 3 times a week. I try to. Sorry about the water bottle and all the loud racket. I try to get out whenever I can and walk. And lately, I've just been really motivated to walk. I don't know why. Your body is his temple. I've heard it said. I gotta look that up now. But anyway, I'm probably not going to talk too much. I'm just going to walk down the tracks. Should go back to the nature park and make one of those videos. I like to walk. And it's way easier with this backpack. With these waist straps. And in case you're wondering what the shirt says, it's 12 reasons why handguns are better than women. I do have my normal EDC on me. It weighs about 5 pounds. There's a video on this channel somewhere of that EDC. It hasn't changed. I still have the same knife, the same multi-tool, the extra mags, 2 firearms, flashlight. Yeah, always have a flashlight. 2 of them if you count the light on my hat. Thought I seen a deer down those tracks for a second, but I don't think that's a deer. There are soybean fields to my right and left. There's also street signs. I don't feel like telling everybody where I'm at. But yeah, plants are growing good this year, so far, from what I can tell. They seem to have started a little late, as did the dump trucks in my area. As somebody who has been a dump truck driver in the past, I pay attention to such things. Dump trucks started about 4 months later than usual because of the weather, which means the crops started at least 2 months later than usual. Hope it don't rain. I hear a lawnmower. Trying to keep this video straight. You can see where I'm going. It's a boring view, in my opinion. Of course, I've done this several times, so that's why I think it's boring, because I've seen it over and over again. Same with the nature park. Haven't been there in about a month. Might go there again sometime very soon. Make a video just of a quiet walk. It is trying to rain. I feel sprinkles. You might get a video of me walking down the tracks in the rain. I'm not worried. Most of my gear's waterproof, including the stuff in the backpack. The weather said there was 0% chance of rain today. I've noticed I walk faster when I'm listening to music than when I'm talking. I walk slower when I'm talking. Go figure. What's up, dogs? I'm glad there's a fence there. Bye. They always bark at me less when I come back through than when I went the other way. See, I'm on the way back from the trip now. I had been following a channel, and I'm not going to mention the name of the channel, but it's a pastor. He preaches the Torah out of the same book I preach out of, or don't preach, I read. I definitely don't preach. I'm not a preacher or a pastor, for sure. Don't want to be one. Not a teacher either. But I was following this. I think I had recommended the channel on my YouTube a couple of times. I will no longer do that, and I no longer follow this person. It started with 3 weeks in a row preaching random verses out of context, using them to try to get donations to his platform. And then during one of the premieres, this same said person was complaining at people for talking while in the premiere he was praying. A butterfly just bounced off my arm. And I explained in that chat that in a premiere, not everybody starts the video at the same time. So the run times may vary from person to person watching the video. And that's why some people may be chatting during your prayer time and some people may not be. It's not out of disrespect. It's YouTube. It's how YouTube works. That being said, he didn't like that comment. And oh yeah, no, I'm not switching to manual mode. That'd be annoying. He didn't like that comment, as I was saying, and I didn't really say much to him about it. Point being, from my point of view, obviously this is my opinion, is he pre-recorded that prayer probably days, if not weeks in advance, premiering on YouTube. That's what it is. It's a pre-recorded video. It's not like he was sitting there in prayer at the time. And I don't know, it just struck me as being very odd or off between that and the basically telling everybody that they need to tithe to him 3 weeks in a row. And yeah, it just struck me wrong. So then I got to talking to a person that I know. You can look this up in the Bible. There are certain people who have certain abilities that is granted to them from Yahweh that can see certain things that not everybody can see. And said person had told me that the pastor had something very dark attached to him that they could see over a video, which is, you know, I trust certain people. Random YouTubers, not so much. That being said, I unsubscribed, blocked the channel, and I won't go back. Ooh, rabbit. Hi, rabbit. Bye, rabbit. And it just goes to show that even people that say they are doing the right thing, they are preaching from Torah. They're telling you to keep the feasts, to keep the festivals, to keep the Sabbath on the set-apart day that is the Sabbath, which is a Saturday. Obviously, it's literally translated from Greek, Old English, and every language that made up English, Saturday is translated as Sabbath day. Sunday, if you go back in time and start doing your research, you will see that Sunday is the day the pagans, the Greeks, the Norse, the Viking era type people that believe in all these false gods and religions, these people would celebrate and worship the sun on Sunday. So when the Roman Catholics devised the calendar, the current calendar that we have now, the Gregorian calendar, I believe it's called, Roman Catholics made this calendar. Romans also believed in these false deities that they would worship, including the sun on Sunday, including evergreen trees around the winter equinox or solstice, which would be what we call Christmas. And people still do the same pagan rituals of worshiping evergreen trees by dragging them in their house, which is what Yeshua said not to do, decorating them with silver and gold, which Yeshua said you're a fool if you do such things. And then they bow down before him when they're putting gifts under it and taking gifts out from under it. Oh, look, a railroad tie. If I had a forge, I could turn that into a knife. I don't have a forge. I walked the other way on these railroad tracks and I found a whole pile of those. It had to have been about 24 of them. I wonder if they're worth anything. They're obviously abandoned, finders keepers type of thing. I'm going to walk this live just past the bridge down there. You can't see the railroad bridge. I can't either. I can kind of see it. I know where it's at, but once I get there, I will end this live stream after I cross it, just to show you the start and end of my journey, where it usually starts when I'm walking this particular path. I have walked the other way before, but there's more crossings from the road, and I have to watch out for traffic when I'm walking by myself this direction, which is that way. The only thing I got to worry about is a train. And typically trains on this particular track only run at night, only about once or twice a week. So it's not a big concern. And if a train came, there's plenty of room on either side to get out of the way. Coming up on a barn. Usually when I walk past it, the roosters are crowing at me. Chickens are sometimes under the pickup truck that's sitting there. Not today, it seems. I can't see my phone screen, so if anybody's commenting or talking to me, I'm sorry if I didn't see it. There is a rooster. Zoom in. There he is. Yeah, I am seeing some of the comments. And yes, G19 is what is on my right hip. I also carry something in my pocket that's a bit smaller. The rooster and the chickens are over there entertaining themselves. Zoom in. Roosters and chickens. They're funny. They're entertaining creatures, that's for sure. If you've ever been around roosters and chickens, they can be entertaining. Can also be annoying, kind of like that dog back there. I hope the audio quality is good. I'm not using any external microphones. I'm not using a gimbal. I'm not using tripods. I'm using my hand and my phone, which is a newer phone, being that my last phone got stolen, along with my car, where I used said G19 and put several holes in the car when the car was being driven by the thief tried to run me over. There's a video of that up somewhere too. Something stinks right here. Can't tell if it's, I don't know, might be dead animal maybe. That bridge is a little way down there, so we got a ways to go. So I guesstimate about 2.5 miles down the tracks today, and maybe not. Maybe it's about 1.5 miles down the tracks, 1.5 miles back, and either a 1/2 mile or 3/4 of a mile back to the place where I dump this backpack after I get off the tracks. I average 3.5 to 4 miles a day coming down here. This is the first time in a while I've brought a backpack with me. Trying to check the comments every now and then. Thanks for the update on the sound quality and video quality. If I bring the gimbal next time, it'll be a much smoother video. Less bouncing, less shaking. I will throw it in this backpack in case I get one of these urges to make a video while I'm out on the tracks again, or whatever random path I go down. A little bit of an update on the workings of the Grimm here is I still have my old broken Durango that was wrecked, and I've been trying to repair it. Currently, I know that there's a tank attached to the radiator leaking coolant. I think it has a hole in it. It's a plastic tank. It's not physically attached to the radiator. It's right next to it, actually. I'm going to try to patch that hole, if not replace that tank, and then it will stop leaking. Then the engine should run again. The battery's shot. I'm going to get another battery tomorrow, probably. Have to go a little ways to get it. Battery is not cheap anymore. Used to be able to get a battery for like 60 bucks for that vehicle. Now it's like 150. It's insane. Other than that, I think it needs a power steering pump because I think it's leaking from the pump when it's in use. I'm pretty sure those three things will make it a perfectly good vehicle again, other than the rust damage that's all over the body and the frame. Well, not the frame, but the lower part of the body. Like, won't be long before I'll be able to see light through the door. But I don't care. It runs. Well, it will run. And I am by no means a mechanic. I don't even like working on vehicles. But I'm going to do it anyway, just to learn. Get it done and have a fully paid for working gas-powered V8 engine vehicle with working four-wheel drive and mud tires on it. So I can go back to driving out in the middle of nowhere with my tent and my sleeping bag. I love to go camping in the fall and in the wintertime, actually. Wintertime's, when there's snow on the ground, is a lot more interesting because you can see the tracks of everything that creeps around your camp at night. What's that? Something clanked. And these railroad ties are not... Look at that. Somebody should come by with a hammer eventually. There's a lot of them like that. A lot of these spikes are just out and the ties are just rotted away. And I can see the bridge. You might be able to see it. That'll be the end of the journey once I cross it. And here we are at the bridge. Look, socks. There's been a little, what I call it the other day, hanky-panky going on around this bridge area. Not that I've seen it, but I've heard it. Because I believe people hide. Here, I'll just walk out here on the edge. And people hide down in there. Oh, a lot of graffiti in the area. Yeah, it's a very long drop, as you can see. Creek runs pretty good. It's rained very recently. Yesterday it rained quite a bit, so it's a little higher than it was the last time I was out here, actually. But it runs all the way into a larger river. I can follow it for a long way if I wanted to go down that little path that's right in that area. And there's another path, I think it's right over in there. And there's another one on the other side of this bridge. Now, if you look at this bridge, you can see it's just slats. It's like that on both sides. A lot more graffiti down there. I'm guessing when the water level's lower is when the teenagers get down there and write all their ridiculousness and blaspheming and stupidity, which is all over the place out there. There's some kind of oily film on this thing. It keeps getting on my boots, but I usually wipe it off in the grass as I get through. But I'm going to hold it about like this. You'll be able to see under it, and we'll get to the other side. I do this every time I walk out here. This is part of the walk, is crossing the slats, seeing the long drop under it. If you're scared of heights, I would not recommend this. I mean, it's not a very big gap in between these slats. I'm not going to fall through it unless I'm incredibly unlucky. But I don't believe in luck. And sorry for the graffiti that is written on the actual beams that I'm crossing. But yeah, that's it. It's not a very long trip across the bridge. It's quite entertaining. And I do like the view. I like being up high. I don't know why. Looking down at things, seeing how small the world really is if you take it in context in comparison to other things. Like those rocks down there, they're probably about as big as me. They're probably really big, but I'm not going down there to see. Not today, maybe another day. But there are paths that go down there and into the woods. Last time I was out here, I heard people laughing and giggling down in that direction somewhere. I just kept walking. I don't bother people if they don't bother me. I have been down to this creek farther that way, right up to the edge of it, down a path I found near a pond, and seen deer track all along it. So there are definitely deer in this area. And I do have a crossbow. I just got to look up if it's legal to hunt here, because I would. Anyway, that's it for me in this live. Thank you to all of those who joined me for my walk down the railroad tracks and my however many miles it's been. I'll check it when I get back, because I still got a ways to go. Congratulations, I've hit my 6,000 steps for the day. So if anybody want to look this up, I put this watch on just before I left, and I hit 6,047 steps to right here. I'll probably be about 6,500 when I get back to where I'm parking this backpack. So if anybody wants to look that up and see how many miles or such I've actually gone with 6,000 steps, you're welcome to do so. Let me know in the comments. I'd appreciate it. But anyway, this has been The Grim Truth, formerly Grim Survival. Still surviving, still trying to tell the truth. That was a tow truck with several police cars behind it. Oh well, I have to cross the road. See you guys later. Thanks for watching. I've got to remember how to end these things, because I don't remember. It's been a long time since I've done this. Oh, there it is. Yeah, bye.